Alright, so this is the jack in the box, and this is just an instructional video on how it all works, because this one is quite complicated, but in its simplest form it works how you think it would work. The jack in the box goes into the box, you close the lid, you crank the handle, and I'll just show you that now without anything else. All the other modes and functions I'll show it to you later, but right now I'll just show the simplest way of how it all works. So hold the arms up like that, push it into the box, and then close the lid. So that, hold your fingers there, close it down, and you close the lid until you hear a click. Okay, so you hear that click, and it's locked in there now. It won't open until you crank the handle. So now I'm going to crank the handle. Now there is a handle here you can hold on to, but I'm just going to hold it here for now, and this is the handle here. So turn the handle. And that's how it pops out. So that's it. That's in the simplest form. That's how it works. Now I want to show all the other modes and functions. I'm going to close it back down again. Now also, if I push it down and I go to close it, see how it won't close? It won't lock in place, because what's happened is you haven't turned the handle all the way to reset it. So what I'm going to do is just flip it open, and I'm going to turn the handle, and there's a slight little click noise, very, very faint. That's how you know that the trigger switch inside the box has reset so it can close again. So as you saw, it didn't close. Now we turn the handle to reset it, and now it will close. And like that, so it closes now. Now on the back, I've got the two switches. So this switch here, push it on, and that one there operates the sound module. This one here operates the lights. So switch that on. Okay, so they're both on now. Turn the box around, and we'll go again. So obviously you heard the evil laugh. You saw the lights come on. That's what those two switches in the back do. And to switch them back off again, you just switch it off on the back, which turns the lights off. And just incidentally, these are the two trigger switches here. So that trigger switch does the lights. This trigger switch does the voice box. So because the switch of the voice box is still in the on position, if I push that simulates the box being closed. And then obviously when the box opens, this sets off again. So push it down to switch off, and then when the box reopens, it comes back off again. So to switch it off, just hold your finger down, turn it off, and then to turn it off at the mains, so it doesn't keep using power, bang, that's back off again. So that's that. Now the box rotation function. So what I will do, now this rotation function works with or without the puppet. You can be out of the box, it can be in the box, it will still rotate. So I'll just close it for now. So that's locked in. And I'll turn the box over, and you'll see a hole in the middle there. Now that's where the music box is to rotate, and you need this disc. This disc just simply screws into place. Find the hole. So once that screws into place, you can then turn it, which winds up the music box, like so. And what happens is then, the trigger for the music box to make it rotate is this handle here. So if I put the box down, and bearing in mind the box has to be on a very, very flat surface. If it's on a curved or a material type surface, like a couch or a bed or something like that, it won't work. It needs to be a flat, level, hard surface. Anyway, this handle here, I'll get a close up there from the camera. Once you push this handle back, like so, it will start to rotate and play music as well. Now you can leave the disc on there permanently if you like, but when you have the disc on there permanently, obviously because it's rotating, the disc underneath has raised it just enough so these small hinges aren't actually physically touching the surface, which is fine. You can leave it like that if you want, but my personal preference is if I'm leaving it for a long time, I like to take the disc back off. So just let it rotate to a full stop. And if you want it to stop, you just push the handle here and that stops it. To restart again, push it back. And that will keep rotating until the music box music has completely finished. So to stop that, bang, put it there, start again, move it. And if the puppet is out of the box, it will still rotate, it will still work, you'll have no problem. So once again, I'm going to make it pop out the box, and the next function I want to show you is the mechanism that shoots fire out of the box. Now the mechanism that shoots fire out of the box is activated by this red button here. You have to hold the red button down manually and then the fire will shoot out. It's just a safety precaution. So I'll wind the box back up. Oh, and also too, that's why I keep the disc off when I'm winding the box so it's not so rocky. So I'll take the disc off, and all you got to do is turn anti-clockwise. And the disc comes off. Alright, so I'll put that down and then put it back down, turn the handle. So that comes out, and then we'll keep winding the handle to reset the trigger switch like I mentioned before. Alright, so that would have reset by now. Now, I've got this Magician's fire paper, and this is what goes into the mechanism to make the fire shoot out. So like I said, the red button there has to be held down. It runs on a 9-volt battery. I will show you where the batteries go later on, and the fire mechanism hole is just here. So I'm going to tear a bit of paper off. Now the more paper you put in, the bigger the fire you're going to have. I'm only going to put a small amount in just to give you an example of how it all works. But the paper goes into that hole. Just tuck it down there, nice and deep. And then all you got to do is hold down the red button. And there you go. Fire shoots out, it gets a bit smelly, but that's how that works. You do need the Magician's fire paper, which is this stuff here, which I will post with the Jack in the Box. So you've got heaps there, heaps. There's 2 packets I'm going to be sending, so there's plenty there. That will last ages. Okay, so that's how it all works. That's how the lights work, that's how the sound works, that's how the revolving part works, that's how the fire works. I'll close the box back up now. Now, here comes the complicated part. This is where all the batteries go. And you will need to take the box apart to get the batteries out. So flip it over. You're going to need 2 screwdrivers. 1 large head Phillips and 1 small head Phillips. Now bear in mind, the batteries will last a very long time. You won't need to do this for ages, but you still need to know how it all works and where it all goes. So the first thing you want to do is take off the corner pieces. Now obviously I'm not editing this video, I'm not, it's just a step-by-step guide to how it's all done. So, you know, bear with me. It's one of the more ambitious Jack in the Boxes I've made, but I think it's turned out quite nice. So they then come off. And incidentally, if you're technically minded, the entire Jack in the Box is just held together with screws. There's no glue, so to speak. That's all bolted in with screws, and so the whole thing can be dismantled. and you can tweak it how you like, and change things around. Up to you. All right, now I'm going to go to the big screwdriver. Oh wait, not yet, not quite yet. And you take these 4 screws out, which we're going to take out the base. Okay, so that's the screws for the base, those 4 there. The corner pieces are taken out as well, so that's all good. And now you see there's a knife, and you just gently pry the base off. Now I've got all the screws taken off, haven't I? Yes. All right. Oh, and one other thing too, just to make it a little bit easier, take a large screwdriver and just loosen the side screws. So it's not so tightly packed in there. I think I have to take these ones off too. So yeah, I can take these 3 bottom screws off as well, and I took those 3 out as well, because that's all holding this panel in. Oh, and also, almost forgot, this handle for the revolving music box, that just has to come off as well. That just slides off, just like so. Because that handle there is connected to the music box inside, so the whole thing lifts up and slides out. There we go, just be gentle, lift that, and then slide this one out, and voila. Take the panel off. That's the music box inside. So as you can see, when I and then you push that, it stops it. So that's obviously why that's there. Anyway, so here we go. These are the batteries. So the 9-volt battery here, that operates the lights. So the lights stop working, that means that battery's run out. So 9-volt battery right there that operates the lights. It actually says lights there as well. And the 2 AAA batteries here, they operate the sound module. So that creepy laugh that comes out from the box is operated by this this one here. So lights, lights, sound module, lights, sound module. Okay, now the next battery is the battery that operates the 9-volt battery that operates the fire mechanism. So to get that one out, if I can remember correctly, I think it's on the side handle. So what I'm going to do is, because you need to take this panel off to get to that battery, but to take that panel off, you also have to have the lid open, because as you can see, the lid is closing that panel off there. So I'll open the box up by cranking the handle. Right, so that's open. What I now do is take off that panel. What I do, I just rest that on here, so the handle here isn't obstructing the bench anywhere. Actually, that's not going to work. Coffee cup. No, it's not going to work. I'll just hold it. All right, so I'm going to unscrew these ones here. Now, this is the first time I've actually opened this Jack in the Box up in over, it'll be well over 4 months, maybe 5 months. I made this a year ago, and it has been literally sitting in a storage locker. And now that I've sold it, this is the first time I've actually looked. So hopefully this is the right panel I'm taking off for the battery. Yep, beautiful. Well, I was very happy about that. So that 9-volt battery here, that's the one that operates the fire shooting mechanism, which is there. So if that doesn't work anymore, obviously you need a new battery. So 9-volt battery operates the fire shooting mechanism, which I showed you before. Okay, that's how that all works. Whew. Now, time to put it all back together again. So put that back together, put that panel back on. It seems quite complicated at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. It's, you know, screw here, screw there, and Bob's your uncle. So the large screwdriver that I'm using is good for these larger screws for the panels, and obviously the smaller head screwdriver is for the smaller screws. Okay, so they're in. We'll close the box up. It's closed. That's a solid lid. Once that's locked into the mechanism, that's not going to open. That's like locked in there. It's very strongly made. Until obviously you crank the handle and boom, it pops open. You flip it over, and the rest goes back into place. That's good. So that slides through that slot here. So just slide that through. It does activate sometimes, so just switch it back over to there, and just be gentle. Just prise it back into position, and you may have to just loosen a few screws on the sides here, just so it's not so tight. There we go. There you go. Okay, I'm tightening these screws up here. Alright, and next we're going to put the large screws back into place. We're almost there, almost finished. Like I said, all this doing the unscrewing, taking screws out, it's just to know where the batteries are and how it all works. But from the very beginning of the video, like I said from the get-go, the simplest part of the whole process is just the traditional part of how a Jack in the Box works. Crank the handle, out pops the puppet, and that's pretty much it. All this other stuff is just a technicality to let you know how it all works. So put the screws back in. How long has the video been going for so far?
20.
Oh. Okay, so large screws are all in place now. Now we put the base screws in, back to the small screwdriver. Quite like the attention to detail as well with the rose paper. You don't have to over tighten the screws when you put these in as well, just make sure they're snug. If you go too tightly, you can actually damage the thread. So that's in, that's in. All right, now the last part, well, we can put that back on for starters. That just slots on. Like so. Push it in there, and that's the revolves that. All right, enough of that. Put these ones back on. And these screws are tiny, so take your time. And after I have screwed all these in, I'll give you one more demonstration of the Jack-in-the-Box. Just to finalize everything to show that it all works and it's all good. That one. Just think of it as an IKEA type Jack-in-the-Box, or nuts and bolts. But this way, you've got a tutorial video of someone showing you how it's all done. Okay, and last but not least, the last one.